Hololive. I don't think the company needs any introduction. However, if you're a normal human being, I'll give you a quick rundown. Hololive is a pretty well-known VTuber agency, only rivaled by fellow VTuber company Niji Sanji, and has talents from all walks of life. If you don't know what a VTuber is, the quick and short is it's somebody using a digital avatar to stream. That's it. Even if you don't know the company name, you've more than likely heard of some of the talents. Calliope Mori, Amelia Watson, Ina, Takanashi Kiara, Iris, Oro Crony, Sarasfana, Nakiri Ayame, Shirakami Fubuki, Sakura Miko, Inugami Korone, Usada Pekora, and of course, Gargura. To say they're popular is an understatement, to say the least. Hell, when I got into Hololive, a few of the talents were just barely above 100k subscribers, and that was in, oh god, 2019. I've been in this hellhole for almost 4 years now, God help me. But that's besides the point. Hololive is big, and with a big presence comes a ton of fan projects. These can range anywhere from fan fictions to fan animations to remixes of their music to, of course, fan games. Most of these fan games vary not just in quality, but genre too. Platformers, RPGs, visual novels, to even a fishing game at one point. Fan game developers have a clear vision on what they wish to accomplish, and hell, sometimes they even get the blessings of the talents themselves to do it. Which leads us to June of 2022, where a fan game called Holocure Save the Fans was released, made by KU, lead sprite animator of River City Girls. Yeah, big time talent working on this game here. I was honestly shocked to find this out during my research for this one. But yeah, certainly explains why the sprite animation is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, if we're going to start somewhere, this game looks absolutely beautiful. Sprites have an absurd degree of fluidity to them. Makes sense, given who's working on this game. Movements are natural, everything flows together, and the personality that oozes off both the player sprites and the bosses is a treat to be seen. The small Ame is definitely one of the highlights, and I'll admit that I was laughing for a solid minute before getting ground pounded. And that's not to discount the art made by both Dudul and Sampleton. God, I hope I'm pronouncing those names right. I have no idea what they were cooking with this game, but god damn it paid off. Major props to all the artists working on this game. I can't praise them enough, and you should absolutely check out their other works. It's really good stuff. Oh, and how could I forget to mention the music made by Eufrik is... It's remixes of well-known Hololive songs, which includes Suspect for Stage 1, Candy Go Round for Stage 2, Shiny Smiley Story for the title theme, and my personal favorite, Halloween Night. For the record, I already love the original song, but the remix made for Stage 3 just hits me in all the right ways. I can definitely feel some Castlevania influence in the remix, which makes sense. Also, if you listen closely enough, you can hear Pecora's laugh. Fucking hilarious. Alright, so we've established that the visuals and sound design are absolutely stellar. But what about the game itself? You know, the thing I'm actually looking at today? Well, in order to explain the gameplay, we need to discuss Vampire Survivor. Now, for the record, I never actually played Vampire Survivor, but I have seen many a Hololive talents play the game. From what I see, it's what I could only really describe as a reverse bullet hell. Now, what do I mean by reverse bullet hell? Well, think of it like this. Instead of dodging an ungodly amount of bullets from enemies, you're now the one shooting an ungodly amount of bullets at an ungodly amount of enemies, and you have to play keep away with various power-ups, upgrades, weapons, and a healthy amount of reflexes and maneuverability. And with that being said, I basically gave a SparkNotes summary of Holocure's gameplay, but let's take a deeper look into Holocure since it does more than enough to set itself apart from Vampire Survivor. So when you first boot up the game, you're given a small summary. In the year 20, a VTuber group known as Hololive gained popularity. Huh. This seems a bit familiar. Anyways, fans begin to act a little crazy, and the VTubers of Hololive take it upon themselves to give the fans a good bonking and restore them to normal. Whatever that means. And that's it. It's off to the races. Initially, you only start off with Holomyth, basically the first generation of Hololive's English branch with Amelia, Gura, Ina, Mori, and Kiara. They're pretty standard, all things considered, and they give you a pretty good idea of how the game will work. Use a basic attack on enemies up close, gain experience, gather power-ups and upgrades, try to survive for as long as possible, you know, that whole spiel. Well, that's true for Endless Mode. Stage mode has a definitive end for the 5 stages currently available, giving you several major bosses to take down before victory is yours. When I first started playing, my first choice was Gargura because, why not? I like her a lot. She has a basic trident stab, and her power-ups, especially the Whirlpool, are great for handling large hordes of enemies. Of course, Holomyth isn't the only generation available in this game, as there's quite a large selection to choose from, but you gotta unlock them first. How do you unlock them? Why, through gacha, of course! Oh god, the Xenoblade 2 flashbacks are hitting me already. Okay, but for real, it's not that bad. As you play through the game, you'll accumulate holo coins, which are the game's currency. You can use these coins in the shop to either try your hand at the gacha, or to give yourself some pretty nifty upgrades. These upgrades are pretty standard, all things considered. You know, increasing your health, speed, strength, and unlocking supers. You know, the basics. Or you could be a complete masochist and make the game harder for yourself, you actual bottom. Okay. Back on track. Holo coins are plentiful, and if you play your cards just right by using either the Halu or Super Chato Time upgrades, you'll eventually be swimming in holo coins, so unlocking new characters shouldn't be too much of an issue. Even if your gacha luck is that of the average FGO players, you have a pity mechanic where you'll get a rainbow tier. Haha, very funny. For every dupe you pull, grab 7 of these and you can freely pick from the banner whoever you want, and in due time, you'll have everyone unlocked. Everyone in Holocure has their own moveset and personal upgrades to play with, so despite the simplistic gameplay, everyone has their own playstyle. My personal favorites to use are Mio, Miko, Choco, and Matsuri for various reasons. Mio because, I don't know, you tell me. No, but for real, Mio's basic attack is pretty damn good, which gets even better with her personal skill, Blessed Laugh, and her special has her calling out her stand, Hatotoris, to basically aura the shit out of enemies. That's my fucking Oshi, everybody. Miko has a big fuck you stick, and when it's fully upgraded, it becomes an even bigger fuck you stick that can hit twice, and trust me, this clears out enemies faster than you'd believe. Choco is a pretty interesting character to play around with, her main gimmick focusing on charming the enemies using her Demon's Whisper skill and her Dynamite Body Ultimate, their words, not mine, which forces enemies to fight each other. It's pretty funny to see. Matsuri's basic weapon, when fully upgraded, has insanely strong knockback, and her God skill makes quick work of enemies that manage to touch her. There are a few others that I like to play around with, but I think the point I'm trying to make here is that no matter your playstyle, there's going to be someone that clicks with you, so don't be afraid to go out and experiment with any new characters. Or you could just play your Oshi like a normal fucking person. Don't think that your Oshi and their abilities will be all that it takes to clear Holocure though. Oh no, not at all. As you level up, you'll have the choice to choose between either your character's unique skills, a stat boost, or what you'll most likely be grabbing, items and weapons. Weapons are the bread and butter of keeping crowds under control, some rotating around you to keep enemies at bay, some being a straight projectile that can hit multiple targets, and some inflicting some nasty debuffs. My favorite weapons together are the BL book, don't look it up at work, because it rotates around you and as you upgrade it, more books surround you. Don't look at me like that. There's also the Psycho Axe, which, does pretty much the same thing as the BL book, except it goes out further. Fun. And last, but certainly not least, there's the Whammy Water, which sprays some water on enemies, and when fully upgraded, has some ridiculous knockback. Holy shit, I love this weapon. There's also items, which can give you a healthy variety of buffs, or can help your overall survivability by healing you. Some favorites of mine include the body pillow, yes I just typed that out in the script, for the shield that tanks damage, the headphones, which can negate damage and create a shockwave that pushes enemies back, and the Uber Sheep, which can throw some burgers your way for some easy healing. As you play through the game, you'll also find some Holozon boxes and anvils to help you upgrade these items and weapons to their maximum potential, so be on the lookout for those as well. Though do be warned, there are some items, while giving a great buff, might come with a nasty debuff, so make sure you read those item descriptions. Unless you have the Kusogaki Shackle, in which case, completely ignore what I just said. So with all that in mind, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, this game is stacked as hell, there's no way it can get more crazy.
Right? Wrong!
Oh, no. This is just where the fun begins. I haven't even talked about the collab items. To get a collab item, simply maximize 2 compatible weapons, find a golden anvil, and boom, you'll have yourself a collab item. Now you might be thinking, what do they do? Well, here's the short and simple. They break the fucking game. Seriously, some of these collab items are fucking insane. Two of my favorite collab items being the BL Fujoshi and Snowflower Sake weapons. BL Fujoshi since it combines both the BL books and Psycho Axe weapons into a rotating shield of death, and the Snowflower Sake for freezing enemies, which becomes hilariously overpowered in the right situations. So yeah, your options for making yourself a complete monster that can't be touched or even die are practically unlimited, so go nuts and have fun snapping the difficulty of this game in half, you actual psychopath. And that's not even getting into the badges that you can equip to your weapon. Some of these can either be hilariously useless or also ridiculously overpowered. Do keep in mind, however, that badges are completely optional. They don't cost a lot to unlock from the shop, so at the end of the day, that's your call to make. Now then, based on everything I've said so far, seems that Holocure is a pretty damn good game, right? Why, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? It's simple, fun, and addicting. Hell, I know I've spent dozens of hours of my time not just getting footage for this video, but just playing the game on my own time, trying to unlock everything. But where Holocure really shines is as a celebration of everything Hololive. Almost everything in this game is a reference to something, from the well-known to the obscure. Most of Hololive's biggest inside jokes, moments, and quirks are all packed inside this little fan game that's barely even a gigabyte. That BL book I mentioned earlier? Reference to Marine and Suisei's love for BL. The Uber Sheep? Watame and the little watermelon she likes to put on her head during her streams. Sakura Miko and her little nye verbal tick. Soro's famous "So You're the Enemy," Corone's ex potato, Aloe's headphones, the Ian curse, Yago's shattered dreams and hopes. God, I could go on and on and on, but then we'd be here for at least an hour, and I know nobody wants to listen to me talk for an hour. Hell, with my Kamiyoshi Mio, they could have easily made a quick and cheap vomit joke as one of her skills or her weapon, which I know me and a lot of people were very concerned about, but no, they chose to focus on her love of tarot cards, her motherly nature, and they even pointed out how blessed her laugh could be. And it doesn't end there either. The enemies that attack you on each stage are representations of the various fans from the talents. You got the Deadbeats, KFP, Investigators, Takodachi, Sukorn, Miofa, Robosa, 35P, Nun Nuns, Hoshiyami, Rosatai, Hatans. Good God almighty, there's just way too much for me to go over. You already saw the title of the video. Holocure, in my humble opinion, succeeds in being more than just a game. It succeeds in being a fantastic fan game. Everything here is handled with just so much care and enthusiasm, wanting to make this game the best that it could be while also paying respect to Hololive. And the best part? It's still getting new content! As of writing this script, Hololive JP Generation 2 was added to the game, featuring Shion, Aqua, Subaru, Ayame, and of course, my girl Choco. Heck, they've even teased adding Hololive Indonesia into the game, which I very much look forward to. Even outside of the fan service for Hololive, there's just a bunch of little hotfixes that make the game more accessible to everyone, so even if you've never played this kind of game before, you should have no problems jumping in, which I greatly appreciate since I do kind of get lost in the hail of bullets. If you needed further proof that Holocure is the perfect fan game, multiple talents have given their blessing to the game to keep going, and they even go so far as to play it on stream, and the looks on their faces whenever they do just radiates pure excitement for what they see. If that's not the marking of a fan game that succeeds, I don't know what is. What I do know is that I, and many other people, including the talents themselves, are very much looking forward to see what the future holds for Holocure. Whatever comes next, I'm sure it will be fantastic because of both KU and his team. And who knows, maybe in a few months' time or so, I'll look at how this game has changed and pour many hours into trying to beat the new content. If you're a fan of Hololive, whether that be the JP, Ian, or Indonesian branch, or whatever, you should play this game. It's free and it doesn't take up that much space, and while you're at it, you should definitely check out the various people who made this game happen. I'll leave a link to all that and more in the description. And if any of the people who worked on this game happen to be watching this, all I want to say is thank you. And I hope that you continue to take Holocure to even further heights. And with that, I'm done. Have yourselves a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I hope to see you all next time. Take care out there and have fun. Peace.